Chapter 2, Divine Language. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim is a transliteration of an Arabic phrase that is translated in a human lower thought or language as in the name of Allah, God, the Compassionate, the Merciful. The phrase is also shortened or paraphrased as Bismillah or Basmerler. Allah, the grand universal energy, was a hidden treasure, who loved to be known. He created creatures, he knew them through and in himself, and they know him through him. Allah, in his essence, the grand universal energy was before anything, and he is how he was now and before. Bismillah is the start and the initial step of divine disclosure, manifestation, or creation. The first alphabet is apparently letter bar, of Bismillah, and has the energy vibratory power of 2. However, in reality, there is a hidden letter aleph before the letter bar, and it is the potential starting point of manifestation, which is where the grand energy starts to vibrate to begin the disclosure and manifestation process. This vibration, alhamd, process is known as Muhammad, or the energy or light of Muhammad, that is, Nur Muhammad. The upward long tail at the beginning of Bismillah that is adjoined with letter bar was letter aleph, because letter aleph is the maiden reality, Hakikatu Muhammad. When the incomprehensible essence of her Hud loved to display the art of his knowledge, he vibrates, that is, creative process takes place, as letter aleph, and then henceforth. The second vibration is the letter bar. As the creative process is continuing, the energy vibration is becoming lower and lower, stage by stage down to 28 stages. These stages are not different from one another, but they are stages of energy vibration or power into different scales. The scientific reality of Bismillah is the multidimensional emanating and manifestation of the whole universe, which is beyond human language limitations. There is only one divine language. This divine language is how the substances, that is, energies, of creation are been organized in different ways to become a specific meaning, that is, creature. That is, the substance or energy or spirit, Nur, itself as in the process of how it has been organized to form a thing in the universe, is what is known as the divine language. In a sentence, divine language is the universal energy programming activities, processes or services. Therefore, in that case, our human differentiation of languages is nothing but an allusion to the divine language, which is the building processes of the whole universe. An example of this illusion, regardless of the human differences of modes of communication, is that we say ma in Arabic, ruwa in Hausa, and water in English, but the substance or formula of the water does not change at all. Honestly, this differentiation is just a mode of communication, and it does not change anything, but refers to the same thing. The initial point of manifestation from the core and the initial level of potentiality of everything, from the vibratory grand universal energy, is the dot at the bottom of letter bar of Bismillah, which is the point where letter aleph starts to write or revibrate. Letter aleph is the noon of the Quranic chapter, the pen, Suratul Qalam, which is the archetypal axis of Larhut at the peak of Larhut. Letter bar is the Qalam of the Quranic chapter, the pen, Suratul Qalam, which is the archetypal axis of Jabarut at the second superstring level out of the 28 strings of Larhut. Letter Jim is the Ischaran of the Quranic chapter, the pen, Suratul Qalam, which is the archetypal axis of Malakut at the third superstring out of the 28 strings of Larhut. The whole universe is Quran. Quran is potentially integrated in the whole 7 verses of the Quranic first chapter. That is, the Quranic first chapter is the archetype of the whole Quranic universal manifestation, and it is scientifically the 7 levels of quantum energy loops of permutations and combinations, in the microcosmic and macrocosmic manifestations. The 6 verses of the Quranic first chapter, other than the first verse, are also encapsulated in the first verse, which is the Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. That is, Bismillah is also the archetype of the Quranic first chapter, and it is scientifically the universal initial level of energy loops of permutation and combination, in the microcosmic and macrocosmic manifestations, which is also encapsulated in the bottom dot of the first letter of Bismillah. This dot is the initial pattern of the loops of permutations and combinations of energy manifestation. This is why, before we start to do anything, we must initiate by reciting Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, or any religion's mode of initiation, from our inner heart, so that to harmonize the natural flow of energy from within its natural compositional alignment, Fetra. Next is the 7 verses of the Quranic first chapter named the opening, Al-Fatihah, because it is energetically the universal opening, which is the fundamental and the initial plane of universal manifestation. Quran, chapter 1 verse 1, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Bismillahi means, all manifestation essentially and energetically vibrates, starts, begins, and exists, through imagination taken by the grand energy, from within its initial potential reality, which is the essence and the grand energy, who is Allah, God. Ar-Rahman means, the substance, that is, the initial vibratory energy strings, of universal manifestation, or energy descent, imagined after the grand energy vibration of Bismillahi. That is, Ar-Rahman is the vibratory grand energy strings, imagined or manifested by the vibratory grand energy, that is, the initial letter, which is the building substance of the universal manifestation, from its subtle level to the material or lower level. Ar-Rahim means, the mirror reflection of Ar-Rahman, that is, ascending or annihilation process of energy, from the lower level of matter to its subtler level. Therefore, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim is the loop processes of energy manifestation and its annihilation, which continuously and instantaneously take place at all moments in an incomprehensible unit of time, in the quantum energy level. In the macrocosmic level, the universal manifestation or energy descent, is fully accomplished through an incomprehensible or unknown period of time phase. And its annihilation or energy ascent, is eschatologically the processes of cosmic destruction, that is, universal annihilation, which will be fully transitioned, respectively into the higher levels, until the metaphysical level of the essential energy of Larhut, through an incomprehensible or unknown period of time phase. Quran, chapter 1 verse 2, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Alhamdulillah means, everything, that is, universal manifestation, starts and imaginary exists by the vibration of the grand energy. Rabbil Alamin means, the quantum energy processes of nourishment, organization, form, government, and other quantum energy systems that hold up the whole universal manifestation, and the transitional processes of universal annihilation. The grand universal energy vibrates and emanates the imaginary quantum substance for the universal manifestation, which as a higher level of energy, manifests, forms, imagines, governs, and nourishes the lower level of energy it organized. Quran, chapter 1 verse 3, Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Ar-Rahman means, the substance, that is, the vibratory grand energy strings, of universal manifestation or energy descent, breathed or articulated by the grand energy, which became the imaginative building substance of the universal manifestation from its subtle level to the material or lower level. Ar-Rahim means, the mirror reflection of Ar-Rahman, that is, it is the ascending or annihilating processes of energy, from the lower level of matter to its subtle level. Therefore, Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim is the loop processes of energy manifestation and its annihilation, which continuously and instantaneously take place at all moments in an incomprehensible unit of time, in the microcosmic level. In the macrocosmic level, the universal manifestation, that is, energy descent, became fully accomplished through an incomprehensible or unknown period of time phase. And its annihilation, that is, energy ascent, is eschatologically the processes of cosmic destruction, that is, universal annihilation, which will be fully transitioned, respectively into the higher levels, until the metaphysical level of the grand energy, through an incomprehensible or unknown period of time phase, and this scenario is an ongoing process. Quran, chapter 1 verse 4, Malki Yawmiddin. Malki means, the higher level of energy, which is the reality that respectively descends into lower levels. Yawmiddin means, the higher energy level where the whole cosmic system, that is, everything within the microcosm and the macrocosm, is fundamentally initiated, patterned, and inflated from, in the process of universal manifestation, that is, energy descent, and it is also the same higher energy level, respectively where the lowered energy scales are totally annihilated, that is, energy ascent. Therefore, Malki Yawmiddin means the higher energy, who is the initial level of cosmic manifestation, and the same level of cosmic total annihilation. Quran, chapter 1 verse 5, Iyurkurna abudu war Iyurkurnerster in, means, unto you, that is, the grand energy, we, that is, all universal manifestations, are energetically processing. That is, the whole universal manifestation subsists through the quantum energy processes and activities, and unto you, that is, the grand energy, we, that is, all universal manifestations, are dependent. That is, all manifestations are imaginative art of the real one and the grand energy, Allah, God. Quran, chapter 1 verse 6, Idna Saratul Mustaqim, means, the process of our transcending and connecting to the pattern of our natural alignment of the systematized quantum energy hierarchy of manifestation, which is taken by the grand energy. Saratul Lazina and Amta Alihim, Girl Maktubi Alihim Walad Dallin, means, the energy harmonious patterns which you, the grand energy level, are systematically and initially aligned with, but not the hindered and disharmony patterns which you, the grand energy level, are not in systematic order, nor the patterns which you, the grand energy level, are not aligned with. The whole letters of the Basmerler are 19 through energy annihilation, Furna, and annihilation is the subtraction and division of energy. Therefore, 19 is 1 plus 9 equals 10, and 10 is 1 plus 0 equals 1, that is, 0 is the negation of all manifestations, and 1 is the real grand existence. Because Allah, God, the One, is the grand energy, who take multiple forms in manifestation. However, the forms are not other than Him. This is the reality of Quran chapter 24 verse 35, Allahu Nora Surmer word wal art. In the energy manifestation, Tajali, that is, the addition and multiplication of energy, 19 is 1 to 9, or 1 multiplied by 9 equals 9, that is, the whole manifestation is from 1 to 9. And there is no any digit after 9 in the energy permutations, except energy combinations within the 9 digits, such as 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and so on. Beyond the 9th stage, is again 1, that is, 10 is 1 plus 0 equals 1, the divine beginning is its end and its end is its beginning. The extreme core within everything, that is, microcosm, is her hood, and the extreme farther away of the universal metaphysics, that is, macrocosm, is also her hood. The completion of energy descent is 19, and its mirror is ascent, which is 91. The mirror of 19 is 91, their cross-legged relationships in additional arithmetic is 9 plus 9 equals 18, and 1 plus 8 equals 9, then 1 plus 1 equals 2, therefore, 9 and 2 is 92, 92 is the abjad numerical value of Muhammad. And, 9 plus 2 equals 11, therefore, 11 means Muhammad, Larhud, the manifest essence, which is the complete mirror of the unmanifest essence, Herhud. And 92 is mirrored as 29, therefore, 9 plus 9 equals 18, and 18 is 1 plus 8 equals 9, then 2 plus 2 equals 4, so 9 plus 4 equals 13, and 13 is 1 plus 3 equals 4, and 4 is the number of letters in the name Allah, God, and the name Muhammad. Moreover, 92 minus 29 equals 63, 63 is the years of the earthly lifetime of the bodily Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which is a reflection of the 6 and 3 universal Mohammedan time phases, ayam. The 6 is the time units and phases of the creation or manifestation of heavens and earth, which 4 out of the 6 is the time units or phases of the creation of heavens, that is, subtler and higher levels, and 2 is the time units or phases of the creation of Earth, that is, materials level. Then the 3 is the phases or moments of the higher presences of divinity, as the universal king, in the higher Malakut, as the universal Lord, in Jabarut, and as the universal God, in the higher Larhut, which are intrinsically beyond the 7 looped heavens, and together, the 6 plus 3 equals 9 universal stations. The 9th phase is the station of the vibratory grand universal energy, Larhut, beyond it is the 0 station, or the station of no station, Hurhut, the grand universal energy, which is the reality of all numbers. The earthly 24 hours time is the reflection of the 2 and 4, for the earth and heavens time units or phases. Moreover, the 6 is the universal energy levels of time units or phases within one another. All the 6 units or phases of time are potential units of energy, the time simultaneously arisen respect to the intensity of the energy units. The higher the energy, the faster the time, and the lower the energy, the slower the time. When one spends one day in the next higher unit or dimension, and then he comes back to this lower unit or dimension, he will see that the one day he spent in the higher unit or dimension is equivalent to 40 days of this lower unit or dimension, simultaneously and respectively. Each of the 6 units of time is a multiple of 60, respective to the intents of their energy levels. So, 6 multiplied by 60 equals 360, which is the degrees of the circle and completion of creation of matter, and the permutations and combinations, in the manifestation of the evolution and revolutions of solar systems, Milky Ways, and all other terrestrial circlings. A journey or work that will take us 1 hour to finish, in the material or lower level, like a journey on an airplane or its equivalent, which will take us 1 minute to finish, in the next higher level, such as the cellular level or its equivalent. Moreover, it will take us 1 second to finish, in the next level higher than the former level, such as molecular level or its equivalent, respectively up to the first higher unit of time, which is in the higher quantum energy dimensions. Every higher unit is an engine to its next lower unit. That is, a lower level of energy is getting its blessings, supports, flood, and downpour, that is, baraka, madad, or fade, from the higher level of energy. Because each higher level is the reality of its lower level, respectively. Subatomic particles as a higher units, are engines to atomic particles, and atomic particles are higher units and engines to molecular substances, respectively. Just as in the clock, the second bar controls the minute bar, and the minute bar controls the hour bar. This is why internet transmissions, telecommunication, satellite transmissions, and their likes, are evaluated within a smaller unit of time, because they are energetically at the higher unit in the scale of electron. Genies, jinn, are based in the higher unit above us, at the compound or molecular scale, and that is why their natural evaluations too is immediate. Angels are higher than genies, and they are based above the genies, that is, they are based in subatomic or elementary plane higher than that of genies. Angels are of degrees in rank, and the highest angels are based in the first of the creational 6 units of energy and time. A higher angel is an archetype of the lower angel, respectively, as well as the archetypes of the genies, and the material level of humanity. Each of the 6 time units has varied time phase, and they are 60 degrees each, which makes up the whole 360 degrees root of the completion of creation, that is, materialization of energy. That is, 60 degrees multiplied by 6 equals 360 degree, and human creation is the conclusive level and the final degree. The higher units are respectively the engines or controllers towards one another, in descent, that initially take a motion, before the material body reflects the motion, such as human motion, planets and Milky Way motions, or evolution and revolutions, and so on. This scenario of energy manifestation, revelation, and descent, as well as its ascent or annihilation, through its energy intensities of the 6 phases or units of time, are a constant activities that are instantaneously taking place within every iota of existence, at all moments. We cannot perceive this reality, but only the material level of manifestation, if our consciousness is still roaming in the lower material surface. In this case, we cannot witness, shahada, and perceive or believe, iman, the reality of the universal energy mechanisms, that is, deen, religion, and the reality of Allah, God, the grand universal energy. We can only witness and perceive this reality only if we annihilate our egocentric selves, that is, false identities, engaging and persistence in good acts, universal love, disengaging in bad acts, by meditating in our wazifa and prayers, and all our religious spirituality, that is, reflecting the scientific reality of existence. Divine language is one in its absolute, but it descends into many illusions, as human languages, in the lowest world, respective to degrees of divine manifestation. Example, Arabic is the final divine degree of descent in absolute, however, it is different from the Arabic spoken by humans on earth, but we merely interpret the divine with our human base Arabic language, which absolutely veils us entirely, and so, we cannot perceive the reality of divine, Allah, God, and so we live in error, forever and ever. Just imagine how egotistical people are fighting to grab a microphone, just to merely interpret the divine with their human lower thoughts. We should know, divine is the universal energy or substance, nur, and its language is the energy vibrations, activities, and processes, whereas the letters, words, sentences, or verses, and chapters that composes of everything, are the energy statements that made the unique function of that thing. If we grab the reality of vibration, wavelength, or frequency of energy, we will know the mystery of the whole universe. Know that, anyone who puts you only into the written works, that is, the external symbolism of knowledge, Sharia, without transcending its reality, Hakika, had suffered you. Anyone who puts you only into the statements of reality, Hakika, without the Sharia, that is, the structure or map of the reality, had deceived you. However, anyone who puts and persisted you into the knowledge or science of both the Sharia, that is, external manifestation of things, and Hakika, that is, potential archetypal reality of things, is the one who loves you. Moreover, this is the true way and order, Tariqa, of the ancient Mohammedan Islam, that has gradually been forgotten, until these days. As well as the way of Gnostics of all religions, as also the Islamic Sufism, known as Tariqa, that is, energetic spiritual order, which are the energetic spiritual heirs of the Mohammedan secrets, that is, energy levels, as well as the secrets of all the other prophets and messengers. In reality, what we refer to as Allah, God, Ilah, Yahweh, Krishna, and God, and so on, is to only the universal single entity, who has no any bearing name. All these names are allusions to the universal reality. All the other divine sub-names are activities and attributes of this universal being, which are the various universal qualities. These divine activities and attributes, are the engineering artwork of all forms of the universe, but in reality, this universal manifestation is an imaginative holographic or shadow illusion. All the letters, words, and sentences, and the languages used in this work, the scientific reality of existence, from English, Arabic, Hausa, and all other languages, are nothing but allusions to the qualities of this universal energetic reality.